Hey everybody, and welcome back to Indiequest, a celebration of the indie and obscure. My name is Josh, also known as Frantic on the internet. I'm here with many people. One of my co-hosts is Blink, also known as Steve. How are you doing today? I just have like this weird energy, you can tell. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, he's like an energy drink and a half in, so buckle up for that. But I'm doing good. Yeah, it's not too terrible of a work day. Otherwise, I've just been chilling. Got a little exercise before the show, so
Awesome.
All in all, good day.
Oh, we also got our amazing third co-host, Seth, also known as the Captain Drachma. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing as good as you can be doing on a Monday night. We were kind of talking about that before we started recording, right? It's a Monday. We always record on Mondays and kind of stare at the rest of the week a little bit, but it's always nice every other Monday to be able to come and hang out with my buds. And today we have an additional bud that we get to hang out with. Ross, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Had a little case of the Mondays start things off, but this is really bringing it around.
Awesome.
That's what we like to hear. Heck yeah. For folks who don't know, Ross, who are you? How would folks recognize you? Or are you just a mysterious man on the internet with a first name?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit on the internet. At rrango on Twitter. I don't post a whole lot. Some beat tweets every once in a while. And then hanging out with the other Polykill dudes on the Polykill Discord. Dudes and dudettes.
Yeah, that's where we know you're from. Like, I think you're a really positive voice in the Discord, so that's always nice to see you here. I'm excited to talk about a game you're bringing today. I feel like I've kind of heard little murmurings of what the game's going to be, so I'm pretty excited to hear what you have to say about it.
Same here. Yeah.
Awesome. So I actually went through a lot of preparation for this opening segment today because I want to do a game show. I want to do it's kind of Family Feud. It's not Family Feud at all because I had to reformat it a little bit. I call it Indie Feudy. So what I did is I sent out a survey with 10 questions on it, and it had an open form filling thing for people to fill whatever they want to in each of these things. So it ended up being a little more random than I expected. There's not very much survey says in this, I would say, after a while, but it ended up being pretty interesting. So I think this game's going to be pretty fun. And I do have a pretty interesting and kind of high stakes scenario for whoever wins this game today. So I don't know if I want to tell you guys at the beginning or the end of the game. Do you guys want to know at the beginning, or do you want to keep the suspense throughout the whole game?
I don't know about either of you. I would say wait till the end to reveal the grand prize. It makes for more dramatic tension. Plus, then if someone secretly doesn't want it, they can't sandbag.
There you go.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's fine.
Sounds like a plan. So basic rules are each question are going to have kind of different parameters because I kind of had to make it up on the fly a little bit because we've only had 10 people respond on the survey. I don't know if that's my fault for not promoting it better or what, but we have 10 people, so we have 10 responses to each of these questions. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to do a kind of a round robin thing. So each question will be Blink, and then Ross, and then Drachma, and then the next time it'll be Drachma, Ross, and then Blink, so back and forth. Basically, Ross will be the sandwich each time. So
nice.
So the way I decided to do this for who gets to go first on the first question is Seth and Blink guess a number between 1 and 10, and whoever's closest gets to go first.
1.
It's 5.
All right. My number was 4, so Seth gets to do the very first guess today.
All right.
So the first question we got for Indie Feudy is, what is the indiest indie game you can think of? So
the indiest indie game I can think of.
Yeah, so for this specific question, we're going to go around 3 times. Whoever gets a guess gets 5 points. So you just have to guess something that is on the list here. And you get 5 points. And each person gets 3.
And for context, for folks that don't know, you surveyed both the Discord and folks on our Twitter account, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So you basically just have to think, what would the Discord think, basically, on this one, probably. And yeah, if you get a guess, you get 5 points on this question. So, what is the indiest indie game? Seth, first guess.
I will guess Super Meat Boy.
Damn, that's really
That is one of the question guesses here.
Damn.
Heck
So,
yeah.
awesome, you got 5 points.
Taking
Ross.
food right out of my mouth, bro.
Ross, your turn.
I'm going with Axiom Verge.
Oh, it's a good one.
Unfortunately, that was not one of the questions brought. Or the answers brought. Steve, what is an answer for you? I keep saying question. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say Fez.
That is one of the guesses here.
Oh, nice.
That's what's up.
Okay. Seth, your turn again.
All right. Oh, we just keep guessing?
On this first one, it's going to be 3 rounds here.
Oh, okay. Celeste.
Good one.
That is not one of the guesses here. Ross,
Okay.
indiest indie game.
I'm going with Braid.
That's a good one.
That was gonna be my
That
next
is a
one.
good one, but it's not one of the responses.
Oh.
See, this is almost random, unfortunately, on this one. But
What people were feeling. But it's pretty consistent so far, I'd say.
mm-hmm.
All right. I think I'm gonna go with Bastion.
Ding, ding, ding! You got one correct.
Wow.
I'm falling behind.
All right.
Pressure's on, buddy.
All right. Third round, final round for this question. Seth, what you got?
I'm trying to think of who would have answered. I'll go with... This is probably not very indie. I mean, it is, or maybe it's top of mind for people, so I'll say 80s.
Oh, Hades. Okay.
Yeah.
That is a good question, good answer, but nope, that's not on the list here.
All right.
All right, Ross, what is yours?
Indiest indie, it's got to be Minecraft.
Yep.
That's actually on
Legit
there.
was good.
That is on there.
Damn.
So somebody was
Legit was
trying-
gonna be my
yeah.
guess.
Yeah,
There you
you know, like Dylan or somebody probably responded to that. Anyway. All right, Steve, what you got?
I was just gonna say, all right. So you gotta work your crowd, right?
Mhm.
Like we got burgers, we got Dylan's, we got some snarky
Yeah.
boys in there. So I'm gonna actually play the audience and not the question. I'm gonna guess Call of Duty.
That's not on there, but that's actually really solid.
Damn, I
for
thought
the
someone
audience.
would try to be a funny guy.
All right, so the 10 answers we did get today for that question, what is the indiest indie game, is Undertale, Sayonara Wild Hearts, Fez, Bastion, something about a bag of milk. I don't know what that is.
A bag of milk inside a bag of milk? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Minecraft, West of Loathing, Ape Out, Minute, and Super Meat Boy. So, saw a little group of
okay.
people here. So,
Nice.
like I said, per question, the parameters do change a little bit. So for the second one we got is what indie game gets mentioned the most on Indiequest? And this is going to be one round, and there are 2 answers that did get more votes on this one. So it's going to be
Steve first.
Steve first on this one.
That sucks.
So we just need to pick one of
The 2. So if you
the
get
2.
Yeah, so if you get one of the 2, you get 5 points. If you guess something that was on the questionnaire, you get 2 points on this one.
Man, there's a couple that it could be, honestly. I'm going to have to say, I feel like any answer I give is leaving good other answers for people.
Mm-hmm.
I have.
I'm going to say to the moon. To the moon.
That wasn't one of the ones that got 2 responses, but it did get a response, so you get 2 points for that one. So,
All right.
And after a little bit, we'll tally up the scores and let you guys know where you're at, too, just so you know. So, all right, Ross, what is the game that is the most mentioned on Indiequest?
I'm gonna go Outer Wilds.
Yeah.
That is one of the big boys here. So you get 5 points for
really?
that one. Yep.
Nice.
All right.
Damn.
Seth, what's your answer?
So a game that no one has ever actually brought, but I feel like we talk about it all the time. So if anybody pays attention, they would think this. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna guess Hollow
I
Knight.
know. Yeah.
It's actually not on the list.
Are you serious? We talk about it like every episode. Come on.
I
If
know.
we asked an AI that scraped all of our episodes, it would 100% be on there.
seriously.
Every game we compared to Hollow Knight.
Seriously.
So
I'm gonna mention it later too.
yeah, definitely. So the two that got 2 responses was Minecraft and Outer Wilds.
Oh, Minecraft.
And then-
I would have guessed Sayonara Wild Hearts as the other one.
That's actually not on here, surprisingly. And then we got To the Moon. We got Mackerel Media Fish. Someone trolling again.
Yeah.
Hades, Enter the Gungeon, and Call of Duty.
God.
Oh my god!
Damn. I was going to guess Hades. I was like, we definitely draw some Hades comparisons. But I
Yeah.
thought we certainly mention Hollow Knight more than anything else, I think. So, but oh well.
Yeah.
Okay, so the third guess is even more different here. I know this is just how it had to work because of how the survey ended up being, but we have one
good.
that is like an overwhelming. This one has 4 responses out of 10. So the question is, what is Blink's second favorite indie game? Second favorite. And Seth goes first on this round.
I guess last.
It just.
Oh, did you go last?
No. You're correct. I'm just saying the injustice of me answering last about my own favorite game.
It's probably better that way because then we would all just lose. But also,
True.
it is up to the opinion of our audience, right? What do they think? I am going to guess Sayonara Wild Hearts.
That's actually not even on the list, and it didn't even get guessed.
That's
That's
Whoa.
very surprising. I think everybody
Dude,
maybe think that's
that would have been my own guess.
right.
Jeez.
So maybe you have an advantage being number 3 on this one.
All right, yeah, okay. There's a couple others that we could go with. All right.
Ross, what did you got?
I'm gonna go with the Witness.
That's a good guess.
That is a good guess.
That's not on here either.
Oh,
I was really surprised by the answers.
It's my
on this
second
one.
favorite.
Yeah, your second favorite. So what do you think people are going to say what your second favorite is? And this is just one guess on this one.
This is just one round of guessing, right?
Yeah.
On this question?
Mhm.
Okay. It's got to be either Outer Wilds or Super Meat Boy. It's one of those two, but it's how well do they know me?
I'm like trying to keep a blank face here, you know.
I'm going to say Super Meat Boy.
Nope. It's not on the list either.
There's Outer Wilds.
So what do you? Okay, so I was really surprised by the response on this. 4 people said that your second favorite indie game is Journey.
All right, that's fair. Like that's a fair assessment. It
Yeah.
would be in competition, but I feel like I don't know, maybe it's just that I don't feel like I talk about Journey on the podcast too much, or maybe I did like a year and a half ago and I haven't as much lately.
Yeah, you did.
But all right,
At one,
all right.
at one point, we had a conversation where you say Journey, like, change your taste in games. So maybe that's what people were thinking on that one. Yeah. So
For sure.
the other guesses were Outer Wilds, Hades, Dream Daddy, Balan Wonderworld, A Short Hike, and Cheering Up Trav during recording of Polykill.
That last one is the same thing as Dream Daddy. but
Yeah.
All right. So far, right now, as it stands, is got Captain 5 points. We got Steve at 12 points. We got Ross at 10 points right now.
Okay.
So we're going
All right.
into, let's see, number 4. Any game that you can't believe hasn't been brought to the quest log. So this is just going to be one round as well. If you can guess something that is on the list, you get 5 points, period. If you can guess the one that had 2 guesses or 2 responses to it, you get 10 points on this one. So
Okay.
it's Steve first this time, right?
Yep.
Believe so?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Hollow Knight has to be on this list.
Hollow Knight is the one that was guessed twice. So you get 10 points on this one.
Oh, I was going to guess that.
It's way easier to be the first person guessing as opposed to the second or
Yeah,
third
it
one on
is.
this question.
Although
Yeah, I
I
was trying to like.
I smacked it out of the park with my Sayonara Wild Hearts guess. So
That's true.
all the listeners.
Yeah.
You did.
I was trying to like do it the most
did.
fair I could think of for this because it's like, what's the best way to do it? I think Ross being the sandwich
No,
is the most
this is
fair,
totally fine.
probably because.
Oh yeah, yeah, it is.
yeah. All right, what do you got, Ross? What's your guess on this one?
See, now he took my answer, and now we're gonna test my knowledge of the quest log. Which,
bit.ly/questlog.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
low-key look at it.
yeah. I might. Let's go Terraria.
That's actually not on the list, but I would say that's a very solid guess because I feel like I bring that up here and there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good one.
You know what I did? I looked at my Steam, and I was like, "Oh, what's the first one?" Yeah, there we go, Terraria.
Nice.
That's a good guess.
Okay, I
Seth,
will
what you
guess.
got?
I have no opportunity at 10 points now, which is a bummer, but I will guess Celeste.
That is on the list here.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I had a moment where I was like, wait, Celeste isn't on the quest log?
I know.
yeah,
crazy.
That's actually
Wait,
a really,
is
really good
Minecraft
answer.
is Minecraft on the list?
I think Minecraft
Minecraft?
is on the quest log because I made like a little
It is.
little
Yeah.
episode about it. So yeah. All right. So what people had said was obviously Hollow Knight was 2 guesses. We got Celeste, and then Angry Birds 2. Randomly, Blasphemous, Crosscode, Mount Your Friends, Super Meat Boy, and Tennis for 2 are the guesses here on this one.
Super Meat Boy is
Interesting.
a good one. I think we're holding off on that one, right? And
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've danced around it.
Okay. So, number 5 is kind of a random question here. There is the same situation as the last question. There is one that has 2 guesses. It's a very specific answer for this question. So if you can guess this, you get 10 points. And the rest are 5 points. If you can get anything else on the list here, you get 5 points. So, what drinks do you think of when you think about Indiequest? Seth goes
my
first
turn
here.
First, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of 2 things, and I just wonder which one is the 2 guess one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I almost want to go with a safe guess. I'll go coffee.
Okay, coffee has 1 guess, so you get 5 points. So I actually think we should go around twice for this one. Okay, I have a reasoning why, but let everybody answer first, and then I'll tell you my reasoning.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Let me get this recorded. All right, Ross, what you got?
I gotta go Red Bull.
Red Bull is not on the list here. Dang.
Oh.
What you got?
All right. I'm going to give the specific answer. I'm going to say the iced Americano.
So, guess what? You get 10 points.
No way.
Yep, the 2 people guessed Americano.
That's what's up.
Wow.
Thank you, true fans, true friends. I appreciate
But
you.
we will go around one more time. That was my actual parameter, is that one of the answers, maybe make it more specific. That's what I was going to say. And there you go. But we're going to go around one more time. So if you guys can guess another one, you get the fun thing to get 5 more points here. So Seth, what you got? Any more drinks that we mention a lot?
I was going to just go general and say energy drink. Oh, is there something on there? You don't have to give
It's
it to
a little more specific.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, okay. I won't give it to you then. All right, Ross, what you got?
Let's go Monster.
Got 5 points.
Nice.
There you go.
Ooh.
And then Steve, one last guess here. You can get 15 points this round. Wow.
I feel like we've used up all the good guesses, though, right?
Pretty much. So the rest, you're going to have to kind of like grasp for straws. I don't think you're going to be able to guess them, honestly, because you're kind of running out of stuff.
I'm going to just take a shot in the dark and say sparkling water.
Ooh, that's actually...
Oh, can I guess it?
Sure.
Is it Spindrift?
Yeah.
No, but there's like there's actually water and tap water on here. So 2 people guessed water. So it's kind of like, and then one person said drinks with too much sugar. That's one person said that. Ginger ale, and then one person says, what is this one? Craft beer and gas station energy drinks. I don't think we talked about.
I said energy.
You said
drink.
I didn't actually. I will give you points for that one.
Nice,
actually, I'm going to give you points for that. Yeah, because I didn't realize that was energy drinks. I just clicked on it, and it was kind of like the survey cut off the end part of that.
Oh
one,
yeah,
so.
you're good.
All right. Yeah. So I'll give you points for that one.
The craft beer
All
thing,
right.
that was a troll answer anyway. I don't think that we've ever even talked about beer, let alone craft beer on here. But
Yeah, probably not. All right. So that's the thing about doing like a random fill-in.
yeah, you're gonna get
Answers here.
random. It's still fun.
All right. So we got question 5. We got the cap at 20 points. We got Steve at 10, 20, 30, 32 points. And got Ross at 15 points. So, I mean, it's still anybody's game because we do have another couple here that have multiple rounds here. So, you guys can still win, still make it up. All right, so number 6, a AAA game that feels like an indie game. So, this is 3 rounds, but you guys just have to answer correctly here. You get 5 points per guess you get on this one. So, Steve goes first on this one, right?
Yeah.
Or, yeah. So you just have to AAA games that feel like an indie game.
I'm going to take the weird technicality answer. I'm going to say Minecraft. I'm going to go to the other side of the coin.
That is on the list, so you get 5 points for that. All right, Ross, what you got?
We're going Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's a safe one.
That is a safe one, but it's not on here, unfortunately.
I want to say AAA games that actually feel sort of indie-ish to me, but I don't think they were probably answered. I'm trying to think of what would have been answered. Balan Wonderworld.
Oh, it's a good one.
It is a good one, but it's not on here.
Oh, dang it.
All right, let's go back around. Steve, what you got?
Maybe Eco?
It's not on here.
Aw.
Ross.
Skyrim.
Yeah.
Surprisingly not on here. That's like a Briz answer. I would expect him to answer, but
Yeah,
it's not
seriously.
on here. Seth, what you got?
I'm going to go with my actual gut. I know no one answered it, but I feel this way.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Ease series feels sort of indie-ish. I know it's not on there. But
It's not on there, but that is actually a really good answer, for sure.
All right, so just to be clear, the question is AAA game that feels like an indie game?
Mm-hmm. The question I put on the survey is, what AAA game feels like an indie game?
All right, easy then. Shantae.
Oh.
It's not on here. That would be so good. That would be
funny.
so good if it was on here. I would love it. All right, Ross, what you got?
Let's go Legend of Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not on here. Dang. Last one.
I'll say Super Mario Brothers.
No, it's not on here. Yeah, there's something like big like that. Madden is on here. That's yeah. So the list says Madden, Minecraft, Until Dawn, Pentiment, Death Stranding, Hades, Witcher 3, Aperture Desk Job, and Returnal. And Hades is an indie game, so
yeah.
So.
I didn't know Pentiment. I thought
Pentiment is a thoughtful answer there. I like that one.
Pentiment's not an indie game.
It's not indie.
I thought it
because
was.
No, it's
Microsoft, right?
It's whatchamacallit. It's oh my god, what's the name of that studio? They're like former, what do they do? Fallout games or something?
Really?
Oh, also, I scrolled down and saw Pac-Man was on here too, so that's very Super Mario Brothers on the answer. Okay, so this one we'll just do 2 rounds on this one. 5 points if you get one. Period. What indie game comes to mind when you think of Josh's taste in games with a quote with parentheses that isn't Minecraft? So it's my taste in games, but it's not Minecraft.
My turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Celeste.
That is on here. You get 5 points for that.
Nice.
Ross, what you got? I don't know if you know my taste in games at all, honestly.
I do, and the game I'm trying to think of, it's not coming to me. So I'm just going to say Minecraft.
Ooh, the snark answer, someone ignoring the question.
I could
like
totally
it.
see someone doing that.
Unfortunately, it's a good response, but no, it's not on here.
Before I guess,
Mhm.
Obsidian Entertainment is the ones that
okay.
did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I couldn't think of it either. I would just thought
Pentiment.
Microsoft because I'm like that's under that umbrella. But yeah,
I'm gonna say, maybe just Celeste again. No.
there's no repeat answers. I'll say that.
I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna say To the Moon. To the Moon.
That is on here. You get 5 points. Dang, I have to make like a whole new column because Steve's winning so hardcore right now. Anyway, Seth, what you got?
Finding Paradise.
Oh,
That's a good one too, but it's actually not on here.
Oh, dang it. I wanted to guess To
trying
the
to
Moon.
hitch your wagon to my answer,
I wanted
buddy.
to
Nice
guess
try.
To the Moon. I'm like, I'm just going to go with also To the Moon answer. So, but,
Yep.
Didn't work out.
nope.
Ross, what you got?
Let me go Terraria.
Damn, that's a good answer too. I love that game, but it's not on here. Damn, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say Outer Wilds.
That is also not on here. So the list we got here is the Troll answer, Tunnel Maker, Binding of Isaac, To the Moon, World of Goo, Journey, Night in the Woods, Unpacking,
Journey.
Sludge Life, Crumble, Celeste.
Night in the Woods is.
Yeah.
Night in the
Yeah,
Woods was what I was thinking of.
Oh.
Come up with it.
Nice.
All right, so honestly, this one is almost a gimme answer. So I'm gonna let Ross answer first on this one because it is a gimme answer.
That just puts more pressure on poor Ross.
I'm not trying to put pressure on you. This one should be pretty easy if you listen to the show. It's not too bad. Where is the best place on the internet?
The Polykill Discord.
There you go. 10 points. Just like that.
Yeah.
My turn. My
If you
turn
guys-
to guess now. My turn to guess.
Are there other answers?
There are other answers. If you guys can guess one of these other answers, I'll give you 10 points. So I'll let you guys guess just one of the troll answers here. If you guys can guess one, I'll give you 10 points.
I have a question before I answer. Is one of the answers like extremely trolly? Because I'm thinking about answering something, but
There are a couple of extremely trolly answers in here, I will say. Yes.
I'll say the hub, old Pornhub.
The hub. Yeah, that's actually on here. But it's the troll answer. The troll answer is Pornhub. No, wait. Polykill Discord, of course. So I will give it to you. They actually did. Steve,
yeah.
I'll let you do the call. What do you guys think? I should give you 10 points for that, right?
You should get.
That's
him.
awesome.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
You should.
I know
All
the
right,
Discord
Steve,
too
you
well.
got to guess too. You got to guess too.
There's nothing left.
There's
What else
nothing
is there in life? Right?
Polymedia Discord and Pornhub. That's it.
That's it.
I'm gonna say Twitch.
Unfortunately, it's not on here. So the answers are a bunch of Polymedia Network or Polykill Discord. You know, like along lines of that. One of them is peanutbutterjellytime.net, and then the other one is How Long to Beat, and then the other one is OnlyFans. So pretty close.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Okay, so same kind of idea. This one's kind of a gimme answer as well, if you know the show. So I'm just gonna go in order. Who should I go? Who should go first on this one? I guess I can give it to Ross again.
Yeah, give it to Ross.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome to Indiequest, a celebration of the blank and blank.
Do you have to get both of those right to get the points?
Sure.
The indie and obscure.
There you go. This one's just a 5-point answer, so you got 5 points for that. Now, let's see. Okay, if you guys can guess a troll answer here, each of the adjectives you get, I'll give you 2 points on this one. So if you get 2 of them right, you get 4 points extra. Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Celebration of
Steve.
blank and blank. Steve, yeah, you go first.
Celebration of the porn and
Oh,
hub.
damn it! I was gonna guess that.
It's not on here, no.
Okay. So, celebration of the Only and fans.
Nope, that's not on here either.
Aw, we tried.
So
we tried.
one of them is weird and wonderful, and then the other one is inconceivable and mundane.
Yeah, we weren't getting those.
Yeah, you're probably not going to get those. See, that's the crapshoot I had with this one. You could get something good, you could get something great. Who knows? So we got. I think we're on question number 9 here, and so we're getting close.
Is there 10 total?
There's 10 total, so we're getting close to the end. I feel like this game's going a little longer than I expected, but that's okay. What is Captain Drachma's third favorite indie game? So we're just going to go around here. We're going to go around one time here. If you guys get one of them right, you get 5 points on this one. So
I don't remember who started the last one, but I'll let Steve go because.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, go ahead.
Oh, I feel like this would be his second favorite one, but I feel like someone is going to bring Enter the Gungeon to this list here. So I'm going to say Enter the Gungeon.
It is actually not on here.
Oh, either they're way smarter or way dumber than I anticipated.
You're all dumb.
Okay,
That's what Steve just said.
So Ross, what is the captain's third favorite indie game of all time?
I'm going to go Hades.
It's not on here, surprisingly.
Wow. It's the hard thing for me is I actually know what my third favorite indie game of all time is, and I don't think anyone would have answered it. I'll say To the Moon.
That's a good guess.
It's a good guess. Nobody gets any points this round because that's not on here either. Wow.
There better not be a Death's Door on this
Yeah, I
list.
hope
All right?
not.
Oh, is it Hollow Knight?
Yes, Hollow Knight would be my actual answer,
Yeah, that's a good one.
but I don't.
Hollow Knight is on here.
Damn
Hollow
it.
Knight's on here.
Somebody was smart.
Death's Door's on here twice. So somebody was ringing your bell a little bit there. We got
Yeah.
Journey, Risk of Rain, Flint Hook randomly, and then guess what else is on here twice? I'm going to go ahead and up the ante. If anybody can guess what's on here twice, they will get 15 points if you can guess what's on here twice. And I'll go with Ross first.
I know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
Is it Shantae?
That was my guess.
Nope, it's not Shantae.
Oh, that would have been awesome, though.
Seth, I'll let you answer second on this one. 15 points on the line.
I just wonder if it's just something goofy.
It's not. I would say
It's
it's
not.
not. I would don't think goofy. Think realistic on this one.
Okay.
I know that's a hint. I should probably give that to Ross too. But you guessed something that was not goofy, so that works.
Steve can go first.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go with. Did we already guess Finding Paradise, or did we only guess To the Moon?
Yeah, we have.
I'm going with Finding Paradise if we haven't guessed it yet.
We haven't guessed it. No, it's not on here either.
All right, Finding Paradise.
It's not on here. It's not even on here. Let alone twice.
Okay. I will guess. I don't remember the survey timing, but Beacon Pines.
Nope. It's not on here either. So
Dang.
the answer that is on here twice, the other answer beside Death Door, which is troll answer obviously, is Bear's Restaurant.
I was thinking that.
That was gonna be my next guess.
Yeah,
if I
that's a
had
good
one.
one.
All right.
That's a good one. Some
That's a good
smart
one.
cookies
And then-
right there.
And then the very last answer here is What Remains of Edith Finch, which I don't know if you've even played that game.
No, I haven't played that. I haven't played Risk of Rain either. But
That's just Caleb doesn't know how to type anything else other than the name of that game into any open field.
Seriously.
So nobody got any points that round, huh?
Nope.
That's okay.
Dang.
Last one here. So this one is going to be, we're going to go around twice for this one. If you get one of these, you get 5 points on this one as well. What developer should come onto an episode of Indiequest for an interview? So,
Okay.
who goes first this one? I'll go ahead and say Steve can go first here. If you get one of these right, you get 5 points.
Dang. I feel like I've gotten a lot of opportunities to go first. I appreciate you thumbing the scales for me, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm gonna say Team Meat.
Let's see what we got. Team Meat. Is that? I was kind of looking and see if there's like somebody that was like one of the members of Team Meat, but no, it's not actually on here. So,
Okay.
Ross, what's your guess?
Let's go Thomas Happ.
That's another game we haven't brought to Indiequest, Axiom Verge.
That's true, but Thomas on here? Nope, he's actually not on here. I'm surprised too, just as surprised as you guys are that nobody said that. So, Seth, what you got?
Freebird
Freebird.
or Kangao.
Nope, it's
Really?
not on here either.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
This is
So,
tough.
Steve, what you got? Yeah, that's a hard one. There, it's kind of almost. I feel like you guys might get one or two on here, maybe. So, Steve, what you got?
I'm gonna go with Super
Yeah, I
Giant.
was thinking Supergiant.
Oh,
I will give it to you because somebody said anyone from the people that made Hades.
Okay.
So I will give it to you
All right.
on that
All
one.
right.
5 points.
yeah, that tracks. Yep.
Okay, Ross, what you got?
Oh man, not very good with this question. Let's go Cliffy B.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
That would actually be a solid answer because he would he's like a classic indie, right? You know what I mean? He made like old school games, but he's not on here, unfortunately. So, who's
Showing my age.
yeah?
That's a good one though.
It was good. It was good.
All right, I will say someone from Acid Nerve.
Nope, not on here either.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
do we get any points this round?
Yeah, Steve. Steve.
Yeah,
got
Steve
some.
got
I got
points.
one.
Steve did get an answer this time. Okay, I've been recording as people get it right. Anyway, so what we got was anyone from the people that made Hades, Ian Dallas from Giant Sparrow Games, Morbius Digital, who made Outer
That was gonna
Wilds.
be the next guess.
Yeah, we got Terry Kavanaugh, we got Toby
Oh,
Fox.
that'd be good.
Hmm.
Toby Fox would be good. Jonathan Blow.
Yeah.
Great.
What's Sunday Gold devs? I haven't played Sunday Gold. Have you guys? Do you know what that is?
Mm-mm.
That's on here. We got Katana Zero's developer.
Oh,
We
that
got
would be
John
sweet.
Romero. Might be a troll answer. I don't know. And then Jonathan Blow was the last one.
Cool.
Cool.
Nice.
So let's total up the score real quick. Let me do some quick math. We got Seth. We got, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35 points for Seth. Not bad. Pretty respectable.
I feel
We
good
got
about
Ross. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 points for Ross. So not too far behind Seth here. And then Steve, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35, 45, 47 points for Steve. So you're the winners.
knocking
so-
it out of the park.
We're doing something unprecedented for IndieQuest for the reward here, for the winner of the game. You get to take one game on the quest log and move it from either the main quest or the side quest. any game of your choosing. You don't have to pick now. You can bring it next episode. But if you haven't guessed answer now, you can bring it. But that is what's on the table. So you get to move any game from one column to the other.
That's a bold choice. All right. I'm not going to answer now. We're gonna sit on it and see what I land on. There's a couple that I would bring up from the side quest. There's a couple that I would bring down from the main quest, I think. But yeah, we'll circle back next episode and we'll get it done. You know, I might even as a kind leader, as a kind first place winner here, talk to you two about it.
Okay,
so we'll see.
Cool.
Okay. And then I was thinking if Ross just happened to win, he could just do it. That's where I was on this.
That
one,
would be sweet. I would have loved that.
Yeah, same. So, but yeah,
Gungeon's moving to the main quest.
I was going to say for Ross, like Hades straight to the side quest.
but yeah, you know, like this isn't going to be an everyday thing that we move stuff around. But I thought it'd be a fun little high stakes thing. You know, if you win, you get a little prize. So,
Sweet.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that? I feel like it does need a little work, but it was a pretty fun idea.
No, I thought that was really fun. Honestly, you
was
could come
great.
up with any questions too. Like just a fun trivia thing like that. It could be goofy questions and it would be fun. It's fun either way. So that was fun. I liked it.
Mm-hmm. And kudos to you for making it work despite the very scattered answers, right? When they don't pool up like they should in Family Feud, it's a lot harder. So I think you did good.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate that. So I guess we should talk about some indie games. We each brought a game today, so we have a lot to talk about still. Who wants to go first?
I will go first. It's been a while since I've gone first, I think. And I will remind you guys and the audience that I mentioned during our episode of the best games of 2022 that I'm trying to play more games, current games from the current year, 2023.
Yep.
So I did that for this one. And I played Vengeful Guardian Moonrider. Have any of you heard?
That sounds like a name generator made it up, so I don't have any idea what this game is.
I'm actually kind of surprised that none of you have heard of it because it's been fairly popular, I guess, since it came out. And the reason that is because it was developed by Joy Masher, who did Blazing Chrome. So.
Okay.
Yes. So it was released on, excuse me, January 12th, 2023. Came out on basically everything except for the Xbox stuff. So PS5, PS4, Switch, PC. And I wrote this in too because it's going to be a little bit of a topic later. It is $17 currently, not on sale, so $16.99 is what it costs. So I might start including some pricing type stuff, especially for new games, right? If I'm bringing newer stuff, because it's not going to go on sale as frequently early on. So, overview of this game: it is a side-scrolling action platformer. Basically, think Mega Man X, but you're playing as Zero the whole time. So almost just as Mega Man X or Mega Man Zero, the Zero games, right? So, you are kind of a robotic samurai guy, and I'll get more into the story premise and stuff in a little bit. But moving more into the gameplay, it's very fluid combat, easy to understand the controls, very pick up and play. Like if you've ever played an action platformer ever in your life, with which the majority of gamers have, right? You'll understand jump, slash. You have some abilities that I'll get to. You feel really, really powerful during this game. And I think that's the point. I kind of liken it to a game like Katana Zero, where you just feel powerful, right? Most of the enemies you come across, you can destroy in one or two hits, right? And I think that's the point. You're like a super soldier, so you're made to feel that way until you get to like the bosses of the stages. You choose your own level, very similar to Mega Man. So I'm going to be making a lot of comparisons to the Mega Man games. But it's got like that flashing frame around each of the bosses, right? And you can go to whatever stage you want to after the first one and play them in whatever order you want. Each level has multiple paths through them, so you can choose top or bottom or left or right in certain situations, and then replay the level later and see what you might have missed. Because there are these things called chips that you can equip to Moonrider, and they do various things like a health regen chip, where if you just stand still, you kind of slowly regenerate health, or an MP regen, same type of thing. A double jump chip. There's an armor chip where you take half damage. It's almost like an easy mode, right? So I think the way to stumble, it's not really spoiler, but the way to stumble upon that is to die and have no get a game over, right? And it just gives you the armor chip. Like it's like that. Oh, you lost. Here, take this type of thing, right? So that's my initial run. That is how I beat the game. I had that chip equipped most of the time because it is a fairly challenging game initially, but it gets much easier over time to the point where you can just use everything that you collect and kind of steamroll different things. But
are those chips, so you talked about like it has a Mega Man style system. Are those chips representative of like the Mega Man getting weapons from bosses to use later, or does that also exist in some form?
Yes. So the chips are more like, if you're thinking Mega Man X, the armor that you can get, like you can get a helmet, you can get body, legs,
boots and stuff.
Yes, except for you can only equip 2 chips at once. There are, at the end of each stage, there is a boss. And when you beat that boss, you get their ability. And then there's like a ring equipment thing that's separate from the chip system, where you can do the thing where you can go around the ring, right, with your joystick and select whichever boss power you want to use at that time. And that's what you use for your MP. Yep. So.
Nice.
There are 2 bosses per stage, actually. The final boss, it's very, again, Mega Man, because you're playing as like a robot samurai, and all the bosses are also robot samurai guys. So they look a lot like you, which, very, again, Mega Man. You're fighting against the robot masters, and they're basically different versions of Mega Man in a lot of cases, right? So it took a lot of inspiration from that series. Go ahead.
I was going to say, in looking at some screenshots and stuff, it looks like there's like a lot of what to me seem to be like large screen-sized enemies, like huge like ships that are like in the shape of faces and stuff.
Yeah.
Are those bosses?
So
or
some of them are, and some of them aren't. So some of those big ship-looking guys are almost like greater enemies in a way, or what I would describe. They take more hits than a typical enemy, but there are 2 bosses in every stage. End boss looks like you. Mid boss is always like a big screen filling thing usually, so like a massive robot. And honestly, the mid boss to me in a lot of cases was more fun to kind of learn the patterns than the end boss at some points. It's just, they're more than just, I mean, you guys have all played a Mega Man game, right? Like they're almost carbon copies of each other to a certain point. They just have different powers, and they might hop around a little bit differently. That's kind of how the end bosses are, right, in this game too.
Okay.
So, there is some level variety where, I don't know if you're looking still, Steve, but there are like motorbike portions.
I was going to ask about that. It's like behind the back, driving straight down like a road, almost Space Harrier style or something like that.
Yeah, or like I think in certain Batman games, you can be in the Batmobile and you're shooting at things in front of you. That's what it reminded me of. So they're okay. It's a nice break from the action. It seems like there's certain portions in those sections where you're kind of not doing anything for a while, like nothing's happening, and you're just kind of like taking in the graphics. And then the last thing I'll say about the overarching gameplay is you can get different ranks for each stage. So as low as E and as high as S. And I will say, Steve and I were talking about achievements the one day. I did 100% this game.
This is the mysterious game that you
Yes.
were Achievo grinding and sending me pictures
Yes.
of. All right.
Yes. I did it in less than 7 hours. So it is not like a crazy difficult
nice.
game to 100%. You have to get S ranks on everything, basically. And one of the achievements is never take a hit in a level. So that one was pretty tough. Like as soon as you take a hit, it's like,
Oof.
reset, go
Damn.
back. But you basically just memorize everything, right? You know exactly where every enemy. At least it doesn't make you no hit the whole game because that would be ridiculous. I just chose the easiest level for me and just kept doing it over and over and over again. But I would say this game is very worth getting all the achievements. I'll talk a little bit more about it later on, but if you want to achievement hunt, I think this game will be more appealing for you than someone who isn't into that. And I'm not really into that, but I enjoyed the game enough that added an extra element for me. So,
I mean, I have one tab open that says Vengeful Guardian Moonrider, and then I have one tab open that says Vengeful Guardian Moonrider Trophy Guide. So
There you go.
So moving into presentation, as Steve was probably looking, if Josh and Ross were also looking, it's a Super Nintendo game.
You know what it
Yes.
reminds me
Yeah.
of? It reminds me of Contra 3, honestly.
Yes.
Just like the screenshots of it and like the gameplay, it just really reminds me of that like cybernetic, like weird kind of body horror almost like look to it.
Yeah,
That's just what I'm getting from it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
the other two like touch points that I would have are like a little bit with the shape of the character being kind of tall and lanky. There's some like Shinobi
Yes,
3
yeah.
energy in there, and then maybe also a little Ninja Warriors in there too.
And the Contra 3 thing makes, at least for the enemies, makes really a lot of sense because Blazing Chrome was basically Contra 3.
Oh, yeah, duh.
So,
Okay.
and that's what, this game takes inspiration from their other stuff that they've released. But I will say it's not nearly as hard. Like if anybody that's listening has played Blazing Chrome and was like, that game's way too hard for me, it's not nearly as hard as that. Like it's very, very achievable. At least the main victory is more achievable for the majority of people than Blazing Chrome is, right? So, the story, as everyone probably knows in my descriptions of this game, is not the main focus. It's way more about the gameplay, the combat. But you are a robot super soldier named Moonrider who was created by a totalitarian government to basically keep the population in line. And all the robots just like have their own like functioning brain. So there is some choice. The majority of them, all the bosses, are just like you, right? But you decide to go against that totalitarian government and destroy everything, right? And basically give the freedom back to the people. So, yeah.
That's a very Super Nintendo kind. Like that's a 3-paragraph story you read in the first couple pages of a Super Nintendo manual.
Exactly. Yep. One of the coolest things, and I think anybody who is used to playing, especially the Mega Man X games on like PlayStation, would really get a kick out of this. There's like every time you go to fight a boss, they'll do their dialogue where it's like, to spell out the words. Mm-hmm. But then after the text boxes are done and you're about to fight, they do like a 2-sentence Japanese like blurb where they're doing the voice acting, that whole thing. And Mega Man X 4, 5, 6 on PlayStation, that is how all those bosses were. So it just reminded me so much of that. I mean, the team is from Brazil. Joymaster's from Brazil. So like they really knew what they were going for, and they got a Japanese voice talent to do. And it's not like it's all crunched too, right? Like, so however you want to call that, like it's not good quality. It's like Super Nintendo quality, which just adds to the charm. So, and then there also seems like, and I know this is a very well-known developer, so I don't think this was just mistakes. There was some like intentional grammatical errors, which really reminded me of like the Super Nintendo generation where translations weren't good and stuff like that. And they were very like they seemed very intentional. So I'm assuming they did that like to add to the spice of it all, right? So music is amazing, super good. Like the music in this game, as you might imagine of a game like this, is incredible. Like it's honestly one of the best parts of it. Very electronic. I've done this like 17 times, but think like Mega Man X games. It's a little bit nicer sounding music than you're going to get on Super Nintendo or on Genesis, right? So it's more like CD quality, but it's really good.
Okay.
Really good. Really upbeat.
So you would say it's kind of like Mega Man?
Kind of.
Bit?
A little bit.
Yeah.
This game is
Just a little bit?
kind of like
Okay.
Mega Man. Yeah. A little bit.
Sorry.
I as I was writing my notes, I'm like, how am I going to avoid this? Like, they were really aping it hard, which honestly, it is what it is. Like, they did a good job.
I just saw the opportunity to have it give you a hard time. It's all good.
I've done several re-listens of the OST when I'm working and stuff. Like, it's really good. So, all right. That brings me to my final verdict. Do you guys have anything else you wanted to mention before I put it on the quest log?
The one thing I did want to ask is, because I'm not watching video because I don't want to bork my audio or anything, how like snappy is the movement? So like one of the best looking game or one of the best controlling games ever is Mega Man X. It feels so smooth to control. Is the control in this game also very smooth and snappy, or is it a little more stiff?
It is very snappy. It's excellent.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, especially once you get the double jump, if you decide to equip it, it's very fluid. Feels great. There's also wall jumping that's very intuitive. I mean, that's one of the biggest highlights of this game. One of the biggest pros for it is that it controls extremely well. It's like an extension of your hands in a way, right? Like it's very good. So
Nice.
Awesome.
But
What brought you to this game?
so the reason I chose it for two things, I guess. One, I want to play 2023 games, right? So I'm like, I always have my Steam set to newest releases, what's coming out, right? Which maybe is going to give away some of the stuff that I bring in the future, but there's tons of indie games coming out every day, so I don't think that's necessarily the case, right? So, and the other thing is I really like the aesthetic, and I feel like I haven't played an indie game that was aping so hard on specifically looking like Super Nintendo or Genesis, right? And it was like, I haven't played like a retro styled. I played Demon Throttle recently, but that's NES, right? So just to have a game that was like this totally looks like and plays like it could have played. Like I almost wanted to attach a Super Nintendo controller to play it. Like it just felt like at home playing it on a something like that. So, but if there are no further questions, I will put it on the quest log. I am going to put it on the side quest. And the reason is I think it has its inspirations, and it doesn't quite do everything that its inspirations did before it. And honestly, I don't really like knocking the whole value thing, because in 2-3 years this game could be on sale for $5 or whatever. But it's $17, and the main game is between 2 and 3 hours. And like that's a pretty tough, like, think of the other games you can get for $17. Like, there's a lot of really meaty games. I mean, how much is Hades? Like, you know, I mean, they don't always, not everything has to be that way, but I could see this game being under 15 and making a little bit more sense. Now, I achievement hunted, right? And it still took me, it was like 6.8 hours is how long it took me from start to end to 100% it, right? And there is unless I just want to go have a good time with the game, there's basically no reason for me to ever go back to it now. I did everything. It's done. Unless they release something. So that's my personal takeaway. Still awesome, really fun. Anybody that's into action gameplay would really enjoy it and should check it out. So that is
Seems cool.
Yeah.
I added it to my PlayStation wish list as we were talking about it, so I like it. Good pull.
Awesome. All right, I think it's time for Ross to go.
I would agree.
All right. Yeah. So the game I brought today is called Skul the Hero Slayer. Made by Southpaw Games. They're a Korean developer.
Yep.
And this game is a 2D side-scrolling action platformer, I would say, with roguelike elements. Think Dead Cells. It's very, very similar. Pixel art style, same as Dead Cells. The story here is kind of unique. I actually appreciate this story quite a bit. They flipped this one on its head, where you're playing as a skeleton named Skul, and you're actually the bad guys. You're part of the demon, and you're fighting against the humans, the heroes.
Fun.
That's why it's called the Hero Slayer. So the humans have basically taken out the Demon King. Actually, they captured the Demon King, took out all the demons, killed most of them, captured others. And your job as Little Bone is his nickname, the little skeleton. You're tasked with rescuing the Demon King. So that's the story. The one unique thing about this game, I guess what makes it different from other like roguelikes, similar vein, is you basically can detach your head, the skull, and put on other skulls that you find as you go through the game. And you'll basically take on the characteristics of whatever that skull was. So there's, just a general soldier, a knight with a shield. There's a pike soldier. I think there's around 40 different skulls in the game. So it really, and every skull you pick up has a different play style. The skulls are in 3 different categories. There's like power skulls, which are, big damage, slow moving. They maybe have 1 dash instead of 2. There's speed ones, which are on the opposite end. They attack fast, less damage. They dash twice, and then balance is somewhere in between those 2. So yeah, every one of the skulls that you find in the game will give you a different almost play style as you go through. And along with that, you can carry 2 of those skulls. So that allows you to switch between them while you're going. And as you switch between them, there's some effect that happens when you switch to that skull. Usually it's a damage. Like you throw up, like if you switch to the mage character, he'll throw up a bunch of like potions in the air and damage everything around you. Other times there's defensive ones, which will basically, the ice one, the ice guy, you'll turn into an ice block and you won't take any damage for a couple seconds. So it's kind of like a get out of jail free card. You see some damage coming your way, you switch to the ice one.
Yeah.
You negate that damage.
Yeah. And
How often can you cycle those? Like, is it like
It's
an
on a
action game where it's
cooldown.
like mid combo, or is it kind of like
Yep.
once every 30 seconds? It's an emergency button.
You can go mid combo, and it's on cooldown.
Yes.
And there's later talking about equipment, you can actually make that cooldown less with certain items that you get. And that's a play style you can play with 2 skulls, reducing that cooldown so much that you can constantly switch back and forth, getting those abilities as you switch skulls. It's that's totally viable and actually really strong. Some skulls, the bomber, you can't play as that skull because once you switch to him, there's a timer that goes on, and after 3 seconds he'll explode and you'll go back to the other skull in your inventory. So it's basically just a skull to use when you want to do some damage and then go back to your old the first skull.
I will mention that Ross is bringing this game, but we were kind of playing it. I played it a little bit first, and then Ross played it like immediately after me. We've talked about it a lot. The way I think of Bomber specifically is anybody that's played any Gungeon, there are active items. Bomber is almost like an active, like that. You get Bomber out there, you explode to get off big damage and shift back into your other skull, and that's kind of the way the Bomber works. But The skull like management, it's almost like a roguelike that is almost like combining things like Pokemon elements, because like there's just so many options. Like it's insane. I mean, it's action combat, but just like every skull is so different. None of them are the same. It's just whatever playstyle you want to have, as long as you find that skull. It's really incredible and really unique for most games that I've ever played. So
Yeah, for sure. And it's almost a knock on the game that there's so many skulls, because when I first started, like I couldn't even imagine switching between skulls and having all your abilities change and being like trying to manage that. It's like way too much. So most of my, I don't know, 30, 40 runs in this game was just one skull. I didn't even touch that switch button.
Same.
At all.
Yep, same. Yeah, it's too much.
I think my first win was just one skull. I think it was the pike skull that basically uses its dash to do damage. And with the dash you get iframes, so it was a nice way to mitigate damage that way.
Nice.
So then, so in addition to skulls, there's equipment as you go through the runs. These equipment are like, increase your physical damage, magical damage, increase your, attack rate, all kinds of that things, cooldown reduction. So those are the base attributes for those items. But then they also have, in addition to that, they have inscriptions that are attached to those items. And as you get more of the same inscription on the items in your inventory, they'll give you additional passive boosts with those items. So you have 9 slots and you have 9 equipment you can put in there. So you have to make some choices about, all right, which ones am I going to keep? I'm going to keep these attack speed ones, and that'll give me more attack speed when I keep stacking them. Or do I want some defensive items in there? It really varies based on the skull you're using as well. Like, what do you want to focus on? Because some skulls are more defensive focused and some are more attack focused. Some are range, some are melee. So
yeah, and one of the biggest things is there is physical and magical damage. So early on, when you're like learning how to play the game, like you all of a sudden have to figure out, okay, what's this orange writing mean versus this blue writing? Like, it takes a good 10 hours to like really understand how to build a proper character. Wouldn't you say? Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think you know me well, Seth, because when you recommended me this game, I was like, well, it's a little bit hard. But then as I started to explore the different skulls and the different equipment, I was like, wow, there's a lot to dig into here. And I couldn't resist going back for another run. Be like, oh, I'm going to try this skull and see if I can build a magic build with this.
It is incredibly addictive. It's like there's so much choice that it's so enticing. And I mean, there were plenty of times when I needed to get up for work at 6:30 in the next morning, and I'm still sitting here at 2 playing just one more run. It doesn't take that long.
I just want to try this little new thing that I got. Like, I just got this skull. I want to see what it does. Maybe if I use it with this skull, I see how that would work.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, and it itches that Hades itch, scratches that Hades itch is what I want to say. But it's even more like there's more customizability in this game than there is for Hades, and it really is pretty cool. Now this game is not easy at all. Like,
I was going to ask.
I would say the difficulty in this game is much more than say Hades, or even like, I can't say Dead Cells because I haven't beaten that one, but it feels a little bit harder than Dead Cells even. Yeah. Even today, I think I have 80 hours in this game. I still struggle with the last boss, like panic dashing all over the screen.
Yeah.
Try not to get hit by his attacks that are just flying everywhere.
The last boss is like, sometimes I don't even feel like I have, like, even when I recognize something is coming, my finger does not move fast enough to dodge. Like, it's insane.
Yeah. Just white knuckling it the whole time.
It's wild. Yeah. I end up face tanking half of it and just hope I have enough health, right? Like, that's
Yeah. So more about this game. There's 4 stages as you go through. Each stage you get a choice of rooms as you go through, and there's money rooms, equipment rooms that give you an equipment after you complete it, or a skull room, which gives you a skull at the end. And there's a mini boss in each stage, and then a final boss at the end. And these bosses are really pretty. I like pretty much all the bosses in this game. You can they've taken some inspiration from Hollow Knight here, the second boss for sure. If you guys ever play, you'll recognize it immediately. It's I can't remember what the boss is in Hollow Knight.
Mantis Lords.
Yes, Mantis Lords. Very similar, but it's still fun. It's a knock, but I would say they take inspiration, in a couple different places. It's not all over the game. From Dead Cells specifically, they have a prisoner skull. It's like the Dead Cells guy.
Sweet.
So
Nice.
and he's very good.
That's cool.
He's very good in this game. So yeah, that's pretty much the game. They've just released a new update. They called it the Dark Mirror patch, and I was telling Seth, I was like, I'm gonna drop in and check out this new content, and calling it a patch is totally underselling it. They've added so much content here post end game. It's insane. They've added a whole new difficulty scaling thing with unlocks and a full story after you beat the original game. It completely blew me away. It's like DLC. It could be like an add-on. They could have charged money for it. It's really nice. And they added some like quality of life stuff to the main game to make some RNG elements a lot less RNG. One of the things is when you go to an equipment room, or what you used to, you would get one item at the end of that clearing. And so it could be a magic item in your physical build, and it's like, I can't use this, So what they did in this update, they give you a choice of 3 different items, and that completely changes how you build your character. It makes it a lot easier to get stuff that you want for your build and have a successful run. I think Seth said he finally beat it on non-rookie mode here recently.
Yeah, I was goofing with these guys a few months ago when I was playing, and I was like, dude, I can't beat this game, and I like hard games, and I am having the hardest time with this thing. And I ended up turning it down. I turned it down to rookie, and I was like, okay, I beat it on rookie, but I'm taking half damage. And then I was just like, I got a little fed up with it. I'm like, I'm just gonna shelf it for a little while. And then Ross started playing it again recently. I'm like, I'm hopping back in. I'm getting back in. Let's see what all the hubbub is about. And beat it twice on normal. I have not beaten it in the Dark Mirror yet, but I know you have, right, Ross?
Yeah, it's a whole nother ball game. New elites in the normal, like the first level you go into, first stage, there's an elite popping up in there now. Yep. It's crazy. The difficulty goes up quite a bit, and the end boss is even worse. Completely panic mode. I've beat it 3 times, and I think all 3 of those times I had less than 20 health when I was done.
Yeah.
Where I started with like 300, 200, 300.
Insane.
So
What's the like between runs progression like? Is there a story in between, or is there a lot of good upgrade systems and stuff?
Yep, there's roguelike elements, and I think they're a little lacking on how much benefit you can gain between runs, at least early game. So lore-wise, the demons you run into on your runs are actually, the humans have basically put a dark, what are they called? Dark quartz. They've embedded dark quartz in those demons, and that way they attack you instead of the humans. So when you kill them, you get the dark quartz. Use the dark quartz after your run ends to unlock things like damage, defense, that kind of thing.
Think the mirror in Hades.
That's for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
One of the later unlocks in there is a death defiance, basically, to let you regenerate once, which is like, I wish I basically went straight for that when I was playing, because I was like, give me a little bit longer, So, yep. And then, in addition to that, when you get to Dark Mirror, there's also unlocks as you beat the game on a certain level. So DM0, you go back, and what they give you is you can choose your starting skull and a starting item or two, which is kind of nice if you want to be like, I'm going to build this certain character.
Nice.
Go through it. So yeah, it's been a blast. I think I put in like 20 hours in this Dark Mirror update, and I think I'm at DM3 now. So it's tough. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think you covered all the high points of Skul. It's a really good game, and I think in terms of, I was talking about with Vengeful Guardian Moonrider, I was talking about value for playtime and hours. That is the complete opposite for Skul. Like you can, it's insane how many hours you can put into this game for, I don't even know what full price is, but I think I got it on sale for like $10.
$20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's $20 full.
Yeah. I mean, that's,
and like, even without this Dark Mirror update, like I haven't touched half the skulls probably, like to the end of the game, right? So there's so much replayability if you like experimenting with different skulls, different builds.
I will say one other thing that is the coolest thing. Once I found out, Ross was talking about different skulls. You can get these things called bone fragments that allow you to upgrade your skull, basically evolve your skull, and it is awesome because they get bigger and they get prettier. In some cases, they just get cooler looking. Like it's one of the coolest, just purely to get the achievements. There's an achievement for every max level skull, and it's awesome to get that achievement, first of all, and then second of all, I just love seeing how each skull evolves and what they're going to look like at the end. Most of them are super cool looking. Like I love it.
Yeah. Extravagant looking. Yeah, it's really good. And you get, like, as you upgrade them, they get more powerful. I think at unique level, they get 2 skills instead of just 1. Yeah, super cool. Music, I'll briefly touch on that. The music in here is actually like phenomenal, but it just goes along with the game so well. You don't pick it out. But when I went back today and listened to the soundtrack, I was like, oh man, this is all really good music. It's like symphonic. Like at the start of a act, it's kind of light and cheery almost, and as you move through towards the end, towards the boss, like the intensity ramps up, and finally at the boss, it's really going hard. You know, lots of drums and violins and all that. And it's totally like fantasy. You know, like a total fantasy soundtrack.
Yeah,
really cool.
I really, really, really love the first stage music. It's just that light, airy, going on an adventure music.
Yeah.
It's great, and I love that.
Yeah.
That's the one
when I first started, when I first started, I was like, "Oh, this is good music," and then I'm like, "I died. This music doesn't mean I should die here." It's like, oh. So,
nice.
Yeah, I think that's all I got. Anyone got any other questions?
No, it sounds good. Where would you rate it relative to some other roguelikes? So, like, I know you're a Hades super fan, Dead Cells, etc. Is it right up there, punching alongside those?
Yeah, I would say it's near there. I would put it right along Rogue Legacy 2, which is I played that fairly recently, and that one I got a lot of hours out of. And that one's like kind of different in that like their unlocks after your runs is like huge. There's so many unlocks you can get in that one, make your runs better. But yeah, really fun.
I went to add it to my wish list, and it says 100 playable characters on the screenshot here.
Yeah, they're probably counting every single stage of the different skulls, is my guess.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Each rarity of skull is a different one. Yeah. There's 40.
So you would probably say, for fans of the genre, this is a solid outing for,
Yes. Yeah. The difficulty will, I think, kind of turn some people off for sure. Mm-hmm. The beginning of the game is pretty.
This is the hardest maybe game I've ever played. I mean, legit, it's hard. It's really hard.
So it's like for people who are like, these roguelikes, they're not hard at all. I have I'm not challenged. This is where you go.
I
pretty
think
much, yeah.
Someone compared it. So I beat, I beat Dead Cells on Boss Cell 0. And that was a pretty hard game. I think when I was reading stuff, when I was early on playing this game, people compare beating this game to like Boss Cell 2 or something, just the normal game. So it's hard. Like, it's pretty dang tough. I would say that I'm not trying to hijack Ross's ending here, but you like roguelikes, and you gotta like some difficulty, some challenge, I would say. So
All right.
Yeah. But the customizability of the game, like, that'll really get some people in there and play it a lot.
Agreed.
All right. So, I mean, my question is, where would you put it on the quest log? Is this a main quest or a side quest for you?
Yeah, you probably can feel this coming, but I got to put it on the side quest, even though I love the game quite a lot. I think it's side quest material, just the difficulty.
That is exactly what I would say. I wasn't sure where you'd put it. I thought maybe you'd put it on the main quest, because it is a really good game, and for some people it would be a main quest game, but it's hard to recommend to a wide audience. Like, it takes a certain person, So
Yeah.
So,
You mentioned a rookie mode, though. Are there other like toggleable like accessibility type options, like the God mode in Hades, or like a no damage mode or anything, or is it like it specifically wants to punch you down?
Yeah, rookie mode is where you're gonna go. That's the only one there, and I wouldn't blame anyone for playing on our rookie mode. The story is really cool. Actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool. Nice.
I really like the ending on that one.
Yeah. The way I read, rookie mode is almost like most games' normal mode, and then normal mode's almost like hard mode. And now this mirror, this dark mirror, is like, for anybody that really liked the game and has run through it 100 times, here you go. Like, now you can go punish yourself more. It's really good though. They introduce all new enemies. Like, it's crazy, like how much they really did with this game. So
yeah. And I had a completely broken run the other night. I sent Seth the video, but it was like I didn't have to even do anything. Like, I was constantly invulnerable or blowing up.
Yeah.
Just cruise through the ending.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super cool.
That's awesome. All right, cool. 2 side quest games so far. Yet to be determined how the rest will shake out. Josh, I almost wonder. I think you should go, and then we'll see how we're feeling. I almost feel like maybe I'll pocket mine in the interest of time, and we'll do mine on next episode. But I want you to go for sure. So why don't you kick us off next?
I actually got this one's a shorty. It's nothing too crazy. This one is called, all right, let's just say, I was sitting on my bed, or laying on my bed, just chilling, looking at the Steam Deck, kind of just browsing the store, and this game just came across my page, and I was just like, I saw like 10 seconds of the trailer. I was like, I gotta play this. And I'm sitting here with my partner, and we're both like, we gotta play this. So we played it together. We ended up playing this together. It's called Deer Simulator. 4 E's in deer. Your average everyday deer game. So it's a game. I'll say it's a game. It's a video game that you can play. No, so I'll just read the developer's description for you. Put simply, Deer Simulator is a slow life town destruction game. You can spend your days enjoying a nice, relaxed frolic here and there together with the other animals around town, or you can choose to relieve some stress and absolutely destroy the town and everything in it. So, I would call this kind of a comedy game. It's really, you play the game for the lulz, just to see what's going to happen next. Every single second in this game, you are going to sit there and be like, if I try this, what will happen? So, you're a deer that has a neck that stretches, and you can swing around the city like Spider-Man if you want. You pick up multiple weapons that you can attach to the deer's head, and basically it's kind of like Vampire Survivors, where you're just stacking weapons on top of weapons on top of weapons to destroy the town. And then you get a wanted level like GTA, and there is sheep that come out, polar bears that drive cop cars, and a giant corgi mech monster that you have to fight. There's a whole level that's like the Matrix, where you're trying to fight somebody with lightsabers in the Matrix world. Pretty much it's a game full of random fun meminess, I guess. But yeah, it's just insane and hilarious, and yeah, I just had a lot of fun playing this the other day. So, any questions about this game? Because I know it's just the weirdest thing maybe I've ever brought here, but what do you guys think?
It almost looks like somebody was like, let's do a crazy tech demo. And then when they got so far into it, they're like, we can totally just make this a game. Like that's how it looks. It's crazy.
Yeah, so like, go ahead.
I was gonna say, is there like a structured story mode, or is it just like an open sandbox chaos simulator?
So it is a lot like Goat Simulator in the fact there's a lot of chaos that you're having. You're just doing. It's basically like, let's poke at this thing, and I'm very distracted right now because on the actual Steam page there's a giant deer head coming at me right now.
Yep.
Anyway,
I just saw that. Yep.
It's pretty much like, let's try this out, and if I try this thing, what will happen? And it's a lot of like, if I do this, will this happen? So pretty much what you're trying to do is get the highest wanted level you can, like the objective, defeat the boss of the area, and go to the next area, which is like a future zone. And there's like a whole like crazy, ridiculous storyline. I don't know how much I want to spoil because I do think it's worth playing, but here, let's just do it. You do a character creator, right? You start off, you're like, oh, let's create my little dude like you do on any RPG. He walks across the street and gets run over by a car, and then the deer is literally who you start taking control of. So literally it's just a joke to do a character creator at the beginning of the game.
I love that.
So that's literally the first thing you do. He's like, oh, I'm gonna give him this super, big grin. I'm gonna give him this super specific glasses and stuff. You create your character, and then he just gets run over by a car, and you're a deer. There's jokes like that throughout the entire game. So I'm just gonna go off right now at the beginning of this whole spiel. Say this is a side quest game. This is just one of those games that, if you want to laugh, you definitely need to give it a shot. It's usually pretty cheap. I think I got it for like $8. It's like 2 hours long, and the story is just batshit insane, worth the 2 hours. I mean, maybe this game was made for streamers. Maybe it was made for that specific purpose. Like, hey, I'm gonna stream this game, this dumb looking game. Like I Am Toast or Goat Simulator. Like I said, something like that. So it's in that genre, I would say. But I played it, I had a really good time, and I wanted to put it on the quest log. I do think it's worth playing for the jokes. It is legitimately funny to play.
There's never been a more overwhelming game for me to like look up screenshots for, because sometimes the deer is the body of a motorcycle. Sometimes the deer is like up on its back two hind legs with like a giant like Dorito muscle body.
Yes. So if you hold down the left trigger, you actually run on they call it the bipedal deer. So you run on your back legs super fast. That's how you run across town super fast, and that's actually how you pick up lightsabers and swords to kill multiple farm animals. And it's...
Does he have guns on his head?
Yeah, so like if you go up to a building, just say you're starting out for the first time, you go up there, you're trying to get one wanted level, you're going to destroy a building by punching it a bunch of times. The building's going to get destroyed, and a gun will drop. You can pick up the gun, it'll attach to his head. Now you have a little bit more firepower. So basically you're just going to keep stacking guns on your head to defeat the oncoming swarms of various farm animals that are cops. One's a polar bear with a cop car on its back, like I said. And then there is like a lot of little jokes, like if you do a specific thing, you get something called the Metal Deer. So Metal Gear reference there. You jump into like a giant mech, and you're a deer in a mech. And there is a storyline, but yeah, it makes almost no sense, but it's very hilarious. So
some of the visuals and just like how the deer gets around the city and some of the side characters and cars, lots of Katamari Damacy vibes, like just the crazy weirdness that's going on here.
Yeah, and I would say like you play it for the laughs. Like it's literally, I would say it's very hard to do a comedy game and actually it be funny. And I think this one actually pulls it off pretty well because of just how absurd it is. Like, they take the absurdity to 1,000,000, and they just keep pushing that absurdity. And I think that it actually works. The game is very janky. Like you could tell it's just like a few dudes sitting around just thinking of funny things to throw in a video game, and then they make it happen. But it works somehow. And this game actually has multiple endings. So yeah, it's worth playing a couple times. So yeah, this might be like the weirdest game I've ever brought to the show, but honestly, yeah, it's good times. I had an absolute blast just playing through this the other day.
Looks fun.
Does it have weird ragdoll physics? I feel like these types of games always have weird ragdoll physics.
I mean, it honestly plays decently. Like it is a pretty competent video game. It's not like I'm struggling. It's not like Octodad where you're like struggling to play it, you know what I mean, the whole time. There are moments where you're like, you could have a time where it's like, well, I'm having kind of a hard time killing this boss or something, but it's not like anything you can't overcome with a couple of tries. It's not that bad. But yeah, it is. I would say it's in the same realm as like an Octodad where it's like, oh, I'm playing this because it's funny, but it's not like super hard to control or frustrating. It's not QWOP, you know what I mean? Where it's like challenging to play. It's just, let's throw a bunch of just ridiculous ideas into a video game and have a good time with it.
Yeah, I mean, literally in the same GIF, it's like, oh, here's the deer climbing onto the back of a horse and riding it like a person.
Yes.
Here's a tornado filled with like orca whales. It's
that.
I saw a hippo with a Gatling gun coming out of its mouth.
Yeah, no, it's a hippo that has a giant rabbit in its mouth that has a Gatling. Get it right.
Okay. Sorry. Easy mistake to make.
Yeah, easy mistake. But yeah, this might be kind of a joke bringing to the quest log thing I'm doing, but I don't know. It was one of those things where it was kind of riding the line at first when I played it. I was like, I'm not going to talk about this on Indiequest. But then after I got to the end and I saw this, let's just say there is an epic ending to this game that is worth seeing, but maybe get this on a deep discount, like less than $10 type of vibe. If it was on Game Pass, this would be like, yes, play it right now type of game, I would say. So, yeah,
Sweet.
It's a weird little game. There is some music in it, but mostly it's just epic classical music, you know, like all the ones you could think of, you know, just
I assume Ride of the Valkyries shows up in this game at some point.
It does, yes. So that's pretty much the vibe you're gonna get from it. But yeah, it's a short and sweet little game that I am putting on the side quests today. So check it out if you're in the mood to get a couple of that's funny when you're playing a video game. There you go.
Nice.
Deer Simulator, your average everyday deer game.
For all you physically minded people,
Nice.
There's a physical PS4 version, and it comes with the final evolution of Deer DLC. So, you know,
I need
all
to
in
play
one
that.
disc there.
I didn't know there was DLC. I got to play it now. I'm in.
There you go. Get on your Deer motorcycle. My God, man. That is ridiculous. Yeah, okay. Three side quests. You know, I think that I will pocket mine and we'll save it because we've been going for a while here, and we have folks that have other obligations too. So I'll reserve my pick for our next episode.
Let's just assume it's a side quest game. It's okay.
I mean, you all know me. I'm very happy to see all the side quest representation
You know,
on this episode. Thank you for delivering,
yeah.
people.
I did say I was going to try to not just bring classics to the side quest. I was trying to bring some weird stuff and some stuff maybe you never heard of. So maybe not.
I appreciate
maybe this
it.
isn't like the first game maybe to bring for that, but hey, you know, it is what it is.
Your pick is like the monkey paw version of that request. You're like, I'm going to bring some weirder, more obscure stuff, and then this mutant game emerges out of some dark corner of the world.
I say we wrap up the show. I feel like we're finding a natural conclusion here. Ross, where can people find you on the internet?
Yeah, like I said earlier, Twitter, I'm at rrengo, RENGO, and Polykill Discord.
Awesome. Steve, where can people find you on the interwebs?
Twitch and Twitter as Blinkoom. That's Blink OOMM, like Moonrider.
Nice. Captain, my captain.
How about you?
Seth, where can they find you on the internet? Bring you, whatever,
Where can they bring you?
You can bring me wherever you want, but you can find me at Captain Drachma on Twitter, and of course in the Polymedia Discord, best place on the internet. Josh, where can I find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Frantic Society, and I think we're all feeling that Monday-ism, like we were saying at the beginning, because I'm just really feeling tired all of a sudden. Anyway, you can find the show at Indiequest Pod on Twitter, and you can also email us question, comments, concerns, topics of the show, whatever. Even if you wanted to, I mean, this is crazy, but if you wanted to give us a trivia game show thing to do, you could do that too. Whatever you want to send us, send it on over. We will definitely read it on the show. You can also find other great podcasts on the Polymedia Network. Ross, what's one you want to just shout out real quick while we're talking about it?
It's a little known one on the network, Polykill.
Woo!
That one's good. Need some love.
Yeah, I agree. Kind of the ugly stepchild of the network, right?
You can also find, let's see, I'll pick one. Uncle Doug's DVD Bin. They talk about some classic, awesome, kind of interesting movies, and they have a really funny conversation about it usually, and I really enjoy that show. Seth, throw a show out there from the Polymedia Network.
Tales of the Lesser Medium, where Trav and Caleb do video game stories and put a funny slant on them. They just talked about Earthbound, which honestly would have been a really good answer for indie AAA game. I'm realizing.
Yeah, it would have been.
Steve, what else is on the network that you enjoy?
I got to give a plug to Point and Drink Adventure, which is a very chill, casual combo kind of alcohol meets pop culture show. PD is very good on that show.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us, talking some indie games. You got to play some Deer Simulator. You got to do it. Ross, I'm just gonna put you on the spot. Say just like something nice and just close us out here. Just with whatever you want to say.
Oh, well, I got to thank you guys for bringing me on, and sorry to Steve for taking too long on Skul. He didn't get to bring his indie.
No, not at all. I think, honestly, we had so much fun with the game at the beginning that it didn't work out. Plus, I'm not going to lie. The game I had, there is literally no tonal transition from Deer Simulator to mine. It could not be more of an opposite. All right, I'll give you a tease. It's an Annapurna Interactive published game. So,
Nice. But yes, thank you for bringing me on. I was very glad to be here.
We were happy to have you.
Good times.
Yeah, thanks, man.